Are you just waiting on it? Welcome, everyone, to another Literalist reaction video. I'm Dave. With me, as always, my good buddy, music lover, John Doe. Oh, John. I was just staring
you're
at you.
trolling me. You're just sitting there trolling me.
I can't help myself. What do we got today?
You were too quiet. It's like, wait, Dave is being too quiet. I better look over. See if his mouth is moving and I can't hear anything. Well, we have a subscriber, a good friend of ours out there who has requested a song here by Marillion.
Never heard of him.
Requested by the guy's name is Yes Squire O or Yes Squire Zero. And I'm familiar a little bit with Marillion. I've certainly enjoyed watching some of their live concerts and things like that on YouTube and on DVD. But my familiarity level is somewhat low for them overall. So I did a quick look up, and I come to find that to my surprise, they've been a band since 1979.
Wow.
Right? I know, UK band. They were originally kind of a post-punk music scene band. But then they eventually had some changes in personnel and leaned progressive, and then neo-progressive is where they went in the 1980s.
Okay.
And that's where my knowledge of them starts to pick up, when they're neo-progressive, which is progressive stylings with a harder edge, and you'll see in a moment. Because
oh, I thought that would mean progressive, but like the main character in The Matrix.
yeah, just like that, Dave. You keep thinking just like that, and you'll do well in life. So this song came out in 2004. It's called Neverland, and this is a live recording as recommended by our fine viewer. And let's just enjoy it together and see what we think.
I'm in.
When the darkness takes me over, face down, emptier than zero,
Oh, his face.
invisible, you come to me. Quietly, you stay beside me. You whisper to me,
Audience knows it.
loneliness. Some people think I'm something. Well, you gave me that enough. I always feel like nothing when I'm in the dark below. Times like these, any fool can see, any fool can see, your love inside of me. Times like these, any fool can say, any fool can see, your love inside me. And I wanna be someone. I wanna be someone. I wanna be someone who someone would want to be. Someone would want to be.
All right. Before we get into what I assume is an epic solo, I have to say, this is a solid rock ballad.
Yeah.
I love mashups, and we have a beautiful like string section sound, like almost like a classical feel coming through this beautifully arranged rock ballad. Obviously, multiple tambourines, so he's already got my vote. I know that he is hardcore about his tambourining, John. I don't know if you picked up on it. No glove.
He seems to me to be pretty hardcore about everything.
Yeah, barehanded tambourining, man. Good on him.
Yeah.
I have to say, lyrically, I am interested in where this is going. So far, it just seems like any fool can see that he was in love and had this love, but it seems like time has gotten away from them. And I don't know quite where it's going yet. I have not parsed it out. So we shall see on that. But so far, I'm digging it, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's pretty good. This is Hogarth. Steve Hogarth is the lead singer there, and they call this the Hogarth era, I guess, of the band.
Oh, did they go through different lead singers then, I guess?
Yeah, they've had a lot of changes and ins and outs. But this album that this came off of, Marbles, was released in 2004, and it was only available directly from their website. It came pre-packaged with a 128-page hardbound book.
Wow, that is not messing around. What was in the book?
I think one of the things that's in there is that they crowdsourced the production of the album. And
that's
anybody
awesome.
anybody who donated, their name went into the book.
Okay, that's so they kickstarted it. They made Kickstarter.
Basically, bands like this are not smiled upon by the major recording studio gods. So it's hard to get a contract. It's definitely nearly impossible to get radio play.
Mm.
You're hearing this is a great power ballad,
Yeah,
a la Journey, REO Speedwagon. With again better musicianship. Not that those bands were slack, but these guys are just amazing. And yet, I've never heard that song on the radio.
well, I've never heard of this band.
Right.
And I like just before we went on, you told me that little tidbit that their name Marillion is actually from J.R. Tolkien's Silmarillion, but they figured they couldn't get away with calling themselves Silmarillion.
Right.
I enjoy that nugget of literary references there, but yeah, so far digging it. Like I said, I'm curious. I want to know where this is going. Ooh. Goosebumps.
Yeah, man, I certainly had them. I need a goosebump monitor hooked up to to my arm.
Man, I think it is such a tragedy that bands this incredible don't get more listens because they just don't happen to fall into the neat little genre that you can package and stick on radio. Like, that song was over 10 minutes long, and it didn't feel over 10 minutes long. It felt great. Like, I was into it the entire time, but
Yeah.
try convincing someone to stick that on, a nice pop radio station. It's never going to happen, despite that being an absolutely incredible rock ballad.
Yeah.
I'm honestly kind of surprised I've never heard that. Like, why has that never been used in some movie? Like, why has that never been stuck somewhere? It's fantastic and would fit in so many different things.
Yeah.
Obviously, a remake to Peter Pan would be where this song fits the best. I've definitely sussed out the lyrics on this one, but
There you go.
that's not a knock to it at all. Like, I thought it was very well written. I also like how he was doing his own reverb.
Yeah, well, you know what? I thought about that. I'm like, why is he doing that? But then I realized why. Because each phrase had its own reverb delay response level.
Mm-hmm.
And I can imagine it would have been very hard, to reproduce the exact reverb he'd be looking for, either the tight reverb or the extended reverb and all the points in between. But he knew exactly when to do it, so...
Yeah, so he just, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yes.
Which is great. I mean, musically, that song was just a joy to be a part of, really. I think I've talked most about the music, but lyrically, I will break it down for you, John. I don't know if you sussed out these lyrics or not. I think these are actually pretty obvious. My initial feeling was correct. He just got more specific. So I think the song is about time passing you by and not making choices to go on what could be the next grand adventure. And I think in the second half of the song, he really brought that home with the Peter Pan references. Because you have Wendy, the Wendy from Peter Pan. So you have Wendy wasting her time in the kitchen.
Right.
And why don't you come fly with me to Neverland again? Like, what are you doing, Wendy? You're just being a homemaker, and you could literally fly to another world and explore. Like, you could have such an incredible experience, but instead you're just kind of hanging out in the kitchen. There were some more Peter Pan references I picked up. I'm not sure I picked up all of them. There might be more. But I picked up the Captain Hook reference. And then I really like when he started saying tick tock, like the clock, the clock from Peter Pan. So I mean, definitely Peter Pan references, but I think the whole thing, and especially he wrapped it up at the end with "Let's fly away to Neverland." Like, that's fine. Let's try to go do it. At the very end of the song, he just said, any fool can see your love inside of me. Like, he wants Wendy to leave her life and come with him and come on the adventure. Because when you're gone, I never land in Neverland. Because to him, there's nothing to go there for. Like, the joy of Neverland was exploring it with Wendy, with someone he loves. And without that part of the exploration, the joy is just kind of gone. So I thought it was a very well-written song. Lyrically, it was a very enjoyable song. And musically, wow, why has that not been picked up and stuck in some movie as an epic? That would have been so much better in, what's that movie? Where for some reason they take miners and stick them in space. Bruce Willis is mining on an asteroid to try to blow it up because it's going to destroy the apocalypse. No. I forget.
Right. I know what you mean. Right.
But they have that rock ballad in there. Don't want to close my eyes. Right. Isn't that
right? Yeah.
Don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, baby, and I don't want to miss a thing. This was such a better rock ballad. Like, they should have stuck this one in that movie. So yeah, I think it's sad that it hasn't been more used. Like, why has so much of this amazing music not really been heard or brought into the public eye in a more modern sense?
Yeah,
through lots of other media.
It's really amazing. Here's a band that's 43 years old, have sold 15 million albums worldwide,
Wow.
and you're first now hearing about them right now.
And you even admitted you barely know much of their catalog.
I didn't know they went back to 1979, so their whole early stuff I'm familiar with. I think I came into the scene with maybe the Hogarth era. They call him H, apparently, the Hogarth era. But yeah, definitely the more progressive and symphonic sounds are there for me. So yeah, I've heard them, but I don't know the songs well enough, more or less in passing. Never did with this band what I've done so often with Yes and Rush and Zeppelin and things like that. But I think it's time I do it.
Yeah, I think it's time you take a deep dive, and I hope I get some more toe dips. That's for sure.
Okay, well, I'm adding it to my playlist. Dave?
You're adding it to your playlist?
Yeah.
Oh, me too, buddy. Me too. That was absolutely worth it.
That was fun. Okay, like I say, my knowledge of is cursory at best of Marillion. Please, our friends, where do we go? Where do we go from here? Do they have some more stuff with some time signature changes and things like that you would recommend? Where can we go? Tell us. We need to know. Spock.